Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about Shanks, Kid, and Traffy, and some recent feats that are going to change the positioning and the hierarchy for some of these characters. Now, what we saw from Shanks in the most recent chapter was nothing short of amazing, and we finally got to see him go into a proper fight. Now, this was a short fight, quote unquote, but what we did get to see were some things that we've speculated for years that are now confirmed. And the most important of these is that Shanks has future sight. So one thing a lot of people questioned was, well, if Shanks is a master of hockey, where does his hockey kind of end or begin, right? And this skill seems to kind of put him at a place where he has mastery in multiple areas of hockey, that being of course observation and conquerors, because guess what, we've seen him use conquerors and scare off Green Bull, and we've also seen him very recently perform a future sight feat, which now puts him at a very high level in comparison to other fighters. So it seems like the main way Shanks gets around and kind of wins fights is of course through hockey, as we've had it explained time and time again, is the ultimate power in the verse. And so that moves Shanks up quite a bit as far as what we've expected from him and kind of what the lore was pointing to, that Shanks is one of the most powerful fighters in the One Piece verse, if not the most powerful at this point. But something else that kind of sucks is that he had to use these abilities against Kid. And so Kid, who was actually seeming like a very potent threat at the end of Wano, now just got very heavily downscaled. He was in the same tier as Luffy actually, which is around Yonko Emperor level, and now it looks like he just got downscaled to somewhere significantly below that. So we understand he was actually getting very much carried by Law in the fight against Big Mom. But what that does is now allow us to see that Law, who actually did very well in his fight against Blackbeard and potentially could have won if Blackbeard wasn't saved, seems to scale much higher, because it seems like Law was fighting, and Blackbeard, being relative of course to the other Yonko and potentially even more powerful than Shanks with his abilities, was having a very hard time with Law, and Law was able to transport him where he wanted to, damage him of course how he wanted to, like he's damaged other Yonko. And Law, who's only going to progress stronger and faster, seems like he could be reaching Yonko level at some point. But that does mean, again, we kind of verified he was the one carrying the Big Mom fight, and Kid was just there to lend his support in strangling and keeping Big Mom held down. So that puts Law much higher than he originally was, while Kid, who was one shot in the most recent chapter and pretty much caught off guard by the speed of Shanks, doesn't really look like he's going to make any appearances anytime soon, especially not in any significant way at the Yonko stage. But he could still be helpful here and there, right? If he's able to pin down Yonko, right, he's going to be a character that can be used as a support for some of the stronger and more powerful players in, the new gen, like Luffy, Law, etc. But he did get massively downscaled because he just got one shot by Shanks. So I don't know where he would scale if he had to fight these characters by himself, but it doesn't look good for a lot of the Wano characters. So it does look like things are progressing for our main cast, that being Law, Luffy, and Zoro, who appear to be some of the strongest of the new gen, obviously looking to be the strongest, while a lot of other of their characters and casts from that worst generation are probably going to they'll progress, but nowhere near to the level of those three, as they seem to be the all-star cast. Now, if you guys have any opinions about the most recent chapters and where you would put Law and Kid, let me know in the comments section. We got a Discord. Just let us know something and we'll get back to you. But for right now, it looks like Oda's trying to create some very clear barriers and lines, and that's what's occurring. So you guys give me your opinion, drop it in the comment section, and I'll get back to you.